Hi, I'm Michael Wan. Thanks for watching us today. Fake, dirty dossier. That is the subject of today's op-ed. This is from Fox News. President Trump claimed today that newly released Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act warrant files pertaining to former campaign aide Carter Page show the fake, dirty dossier started Special Counsel Robert Mueller's probe. This is what Trump tweeted today. So we now find out that it was indeed the unverified and fake dirty dossier that was paid for by crooked Hillary Clinton and the DNC that was knowingly and falsely submitted to FISA and which was responsible for starting that totally conflicted and discredited Mueller witch hunt. The president's tweet comes after a heavily redacted version of the FISA warrant application to spy on Page was released by the FBI. The documents pertain to the October 2016 application to the FISA court to wiretap Page, which led to later renewals. The application had previously been classified. The lengthy file immediately became a political football, with both sides claiming vindication of their position. On one hand, the documents reveal FBI suspicions that Page, who worked as a foreign policy advisor on the Trump campaign, had contacts with the Russian government. The FISA application says this: the FBI believes Page has been the subject of targeted recruitment by the Russian government, undermine and influence the outcome of the 2016 U.S. presidential election in violation of the United States criminal law. This is what top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff from Los Angeles, said in a statement. Even in redacted form, the initial FISA application and 3 renewals underscore the legitimate concern FBI had about Page's activities as it was investigating Russia's interference. But no, it does not. It is not a legitimate concern because the whole thing was based on a fake dossier. The documents also suggest the FISA applications relied at least in part on the infamous anti-Trump dossier, the infamous dossier regarding Trump doing salacious things back in 2013 in a Moscow hotel. The dossier included salacious and unverified allegations about Trump's connections to Russia and those of his associates. The dossier was authored by former British intelligence agent Christopher Steele, who was hired by opposition research firm Fusion GPS. The dossier served as opposition research against then Republican candidate Donald Trump. The Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee paid $13 million. Can you believe that? $13 million to law firm Perkins Coie to cook up this hoax. This is how the FISA application goes. Source number 1, who now owns a foreign business/financial intelligence firm, was approached by an identified United States person who indicated to source number 1 that a U.S.-based law firm had hired the identified U.S. person to conduct research regarding candidate number 1, which means Donald Trump. Donald Trump ties to Russia. The identified U.S. person and source number 1 have a long-standing business relationship. The identified U.S. person hired source number 1 to conduct this research. The identified U.S. person never advised source number 1 as to the motivation behind the research into candidate number 1's ties to Russia. Source number 1 is likely referencing to Christopher Steele, and the identified U.S. person is likely a reference to Glenn Simpson, who is a co-founder of Fusion GPS. So pretty much, Christopher Steele did not, the FBI did not reveal that opposition research firm Fusion GPS was behind this whole fabricated fake dossier. The document also states that the FBI speculates that the identified United States person was likely looking for information that could be used to discredit candidate 1's campaign, candidate 1 being Donald Trump again. It continues, notwithstanding source number 1's reason for conducting the research into candidate number 1's ties to Russia, based on source number 1's previous reporting history with the FBI, whereby source number 1 provided reliable information to the FBI believes source number 1's reporting herein to be credible. But it all doesn't make sense at all because it was all fabricated and cooked up by opposition research firm. How can FBI rely a document that belongs to an opposition research firm? Opposition research firm being an opposite from Donald Trump. which means Hillary Clinton's people cooked up this fake dossier to wiretap Carter Page, who was a volunteer for President Trump's campaign. So this whole thing is just this is just sinister, very evil, and this shouldn't have happened in the first place. The whole mainstream media, as corrupt as they are turning a blind eye to all of this matter. And Steele had previously worked on behalf of the FBI as a source, but was suspended and then terminated for an unauthorized disclosure to the media of his relationship with the FBI, according to a GOP House Intelligence Committee memo. So the whole thing, it's known now why the FBI started this whole shenanigan, and also the special counsel is investigating whether Donald Trump colluded with Russia or not. It's all based in this fake, dirty dossier. It's fake, dirty, salacious dossier. So it's all fake. The mainstream media, they have been spreading lies for the past 2 or 3 years, I would say, ever since pretty much Donald Trump announced his candidacy. They have been spreading fake news about Donald Trump, and ever since they found out about this ridiculous Russia stuff, they have been spreading lies again and again and again. And it's very sad to see most of the foreign media outlets, I'm talking about including Korea media outlets, and also the Korean American media outlets here. And I would say sometimes our paper also spreads some wrong information and fake news, I would say. I mean, that's just pretty much the fact. And also European media outlets, they have been also spreading out fake news as well, because they don't know about other alternative news sources like Fox News or Drudge Report or LifeZet or Daily Wire or Daily Caller. If they go there once, they would have at least asked themselves that something's wrong here. They can't, but it just seems that's the way it is. Anyway, the FISA applications also reference former Trump advisor George Papadopoulos, who's meeting with a professor who had ties to Russia, and other discussions also have been described as triggers for the Russia probe. But this professor was an FBI spy, FBI informant. So the whole thing is fabricated. I just cannot believe what the mainstream media, their narrative that Trump meeting Putin was somehow treasonous. The mainstream media, they are treasonous for spreading out these fake news. And also, I'm talking about the Hillary Clinton people and also the Democratic National Committee. They have been in this together from the beginning, cooking up these fake stuff to wiretap Donald Trump's campaign. And they were the one who got this fake, dirty dossier from the Russians. So if there was a meddling from Russia, yes, it did. There was meddling, but it didn't come from the Trump campaign. It came from the Hillary campaign. They paid $13 million for this fake, dirty, salacious dossier. So you can obviously see what's fake and what's not. The Trump-Russia collusion, that is entirely fake. The whole thing is fake. Hillary-Russia collusion, now there is something really solid. We have solid proof there. And who paid $145 million to the Clinton Foundation? It was a Russian businessman who paid $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. And what did they get in return? 20% of American uranium. Where is the outcry for that? So anyway, Papadopoulos has pleaded guilty to lying to federal investigators in Mueller's probe. But House Republicans and those in the president's camp have maintained that the dossier was key to the FISA warrant to surveil members of the Trump campaign for months. Democrats, on the other hand, dispute the claims. A House GOP memo revealed in February that former FBI Director James Comey signed 3 FISA applications for Page, and former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe signed 1. Trump's current Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein also signed at least 1 FISA application for Page, along with former Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates and former Acting Deputy General Dana Bonte. So these people, they're all in it together. Even the current Acting Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, he might be right in the middle of it. Where is the outcry, and where is the mainstream media on that? Aren't they supposed to criticize Rod Rosenstein to step aside or resign. If the mainstream media was clean and objective as they portray they are, then they should have demanded Rod Rosenstein to step aside or resign. Anyway, over the weekend, the president blasted the Dossier and FISA approvals of Page as an illegal scam. This is what Trump tweeted. Looking more and more like the Trump campaign for president was illegally being spied upon, surveillance, for the political gain of crooked Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Ask her how that worked out. She did better with crazy Bernie. Republicans must get tough now, an illegal scam. And he also tweeted this. Andrew McCarthy, I said this could never happen. This is so bad that they should be looking at the judges who signed off on this stuff, not just the people who gave it. It is so bad, it screams out at you. On the whole FISA scam, which led to the rigged Mueller witch hunt. The president, for months, has slammed Robert Mueller and his team of investigators. Because I don't know what they're investigating. What is the purpose of the special counsel investigation? What is it? Because we know that Russia never colluded. That is completely fake. So what are they trying to find out? The whole thing is fake. Then is Robert Mueller investigating whether Hillary Clinton, their people paid $13 million to an opposition research firm, Fusion GPS, and they got information from Christopher Steele, where Christopher Steele got his information from Russia, from Russians. So if Robert Mueller does an investigation regarding of Russian collusion with either candidate's campaign, they should be focusing on the Hillary campaign, not the Trump campaign. The special counsel is investigating Russian meddling and potential collusion with Trump campaign associates in the 2016 presidential election, sadly. Trump drew bipartisan criticism last week for initially appearing to accept Russia's denial of meddling during his summit with Vladimir Putin. After several walkbacks, Trump returned over the weekend to defend his meeting and blasted the media. Trump tweeted this, "When you hear the fake news talking negatively about my meeting with President Putin and all that I gave up, remember, I gave up nothing. We merely talked about future benefits for both countries. Also, we got along very well, which is a good thing, except for the corrupt media." And today, White House has announced that President Trump, may revoke security clearances for former Obama officials. This is from The Hill, and it says that President Donald Trump is considering revoking the security clearances from former intelligence officials who served under former President Barack Obama, according to White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders. And this is what Sarah Sanders said today. "Not only is the president looking to take away John Brennan's security clearance, thank God, he is the most corrupt person as you can get." It said he's also looking into the clearances of James Comey, the former FBI director, and James Clapper, the former CIA director, the former DNI director, and Hayden, Susan Rice, and Andrew McCabe. Sarah Sanders said during the White House press briefing. So to review it, it again goes like this. Former FBI director James Comey, he might get his security clearances revoked, which I think they should, and former CIA director John Brennan, and former director of the National Security Agency Michael Hayden, and former director of National Intelligence James Clapper, and former FBI deputy director Andrew McCabe, and former National Security Advisor Susan Rice. And this is not just what Trump asked for. This is what Senator Rand Paul also said. He floated a suggestion about Trump taking away security clearances from Brennan. So what our viewers need to know is whenever they talk about Trump campaign and Russia collusion, the whole thing is fabricated. I mean, anybody who has common sense, who has IQ, who has a 3-digit IQ would notice that the whole thing is fake. Just look into it. Look into it. Don't just take what CNN or the New York Times say as it is. If you look at the articles, you can find so many fake things, fake sentences, fake narratives. It's just the past 2 years has been a waste of energy by for Americans. I mean, look what happened so far. And if you listen to what Ben Shapiro and Larry Elder and Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, and all these people, you can find out why. Just think about it. If you know that it's fake, then why are they spreading this lie to the viewers, to the Americans? There must be a reason, right? There must be a reason. I would say all they want is just to take over the House and the Senate this November and try to impeach Trump. That is their goal. That is the left wing's goal. That is the media's goal. That is the Democratic Party's goal. And that is the goal of, I would say, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. But I doubt it, because you can see the walk-away campaign is happening nationwide, especially among the millennials. They're walking away from where? From the Democratic Party, because they're tired of their identity politics, their bigotry, and the political correctness. That's why people voted for Trump back in 2011, November of 2011. And today, Wall Street Journal / NBC had a poll today. And 45% of Americans approve of Donald Trump, even though the mainstream media went ballistic the past 2 weeks before Trump met with Putin and after. Why do you think that's happening? Because the people they don't believe in the mainstream media anymore. They don't. At least half of Americans do not believe it, and they believe that Trump meeting Putin was a good thing. There was no outcry when Vladimir Putin met with Barack Obama, and there was no outcry when Putin met with George W. Bush. But why? Why are they so angry when Trump decided to meet with Putin, and when they did actually meet, they went just crazy? I've never seen anything like that from the media. I have literally never seen anything like that kind of response. So Trump, what did Trump do? He doubled down. He said he's going to invite Vladimir Putin this coming fall. And that is the reason why Trump supporters are crazy about it. Well, that's our show for today. Our show, Op-Ed Live, is not about left or right. It's about what's right or wrong. To stay up to date with our latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.